Hello there, viewers. It's been a while since I posted a video. I think it's been almost a year, but I have been busy over that last year. In today's video, you're going to see the Blazer, the 1972 Blazer I've been working on, is finally through final bodywork, and then into paint, and then into assembly. But other exciting news: I retired from my job last December, and I'm moving to Florida. So here's my place in Arizona. I get the workshop pretty much emptied. Got the lift gone, all my tools are gone. Yesterday a transporter came, grabbed up 6 cars that I had, so all my cars are gone. So now I just got my motorhome, selling that trailer, and then I got to pick up the rest of this crap and get it to Florida. But yeah, so enjoy the video. Again, it takes the 72 Blazer through bodywork, into paint, and then into assembly. Right now I have it running and driving. I loaded it onto a trailer a couple months ago and then drove it out there. So yeah, stay tuned. Should be a fun video. All right, so we're gonna take this chalk, gonna rub it on this direct metal epoxy primer. And what it'll allow me to do is start sanding, and then everywhere it's still dark is a low spot. All right, with this, again, just longboard staying on the flat surfaces. I just go with a crosshatch. Trying to keep the block as flat as possible. Then it'll go through and it'll start showing some of the low spots. And then I'll come back in, rough it up a little bit, put in some filler, and then repeat, repeat, repeat. So that's the process. Here we go, just moving on, getting everything sanded down. Did find a spot here. It's gonna need some filler. It's a little low, but here's that place I repaired in that last video. Pretty flat, pretty happy. And then just some other spots. And here's where I did some body work earlier and then went over it. But now I gotta do the door. I did the inside of the jamb, rocker panel, but now I'm out on the outside of the door. I'm gonna block sand that. This is the bottom of that door that I extended. You can see the original bottom was about right there, and I extended it down. But as with any kind of welding, you can see it's got a high spot, and then a high spot, a couple of low spots, high spots, low spots. And then there was a dent that went through here, and obviously I didn't get that out. Thought I did. And then I got some high spots. So this is a result of that pin puller, right? When you start pulling those pins, really brings it up. So this is something that I don't think any other YouTuber will show you. They're like, I'll slap some body filler on there and then we'll come back. We won't show you what's going on, but I believe in showing what really happens and goes on. So I will be using my pointy dolly thing, or my hammer, pushing those in a little bit, getting it as flat as possible. Like this area here, there's gonna be less than 1/8 of an inch of filler in there, so I'm not too worried. But here it goes in pretty deep, so I may go on the inside of the door and try and push that out. And then these, that's no problem. I'll just ding those in, and then the same thing when I get up to this fender. You can see where all those pins. You just pull it out, and I don't know. I haven't figured out a really good way to get those knocked back in. But here we go. I just want to show you everything that's going on. All right, here we are. So this quarter panel was really dented. This was probably in a good inch back here, sort of in that whole area, all the way down. And if you watch a previous video using an English wheel, I cut this quarter panel off, put on the English wheel, got most of it straightened out. Still, there's a lot of body work. So this is sort of the first block sand after the body work, and I got to go back, and there's some dark spots from the chalk I'm going to fill in, and hopefully, and here's a part, so a long time ago I repaired, there was a rust hole here and I repaired it. Now it's got a bow right here. So I'm probably going to take one of those slap things and then slap that thing, get it all level. But yeah, so now just another coat of filler, a very light skim coat, probably less than an eighth of an inch in all these places. And then I'm going to move on to the door and the fender. We are the last piece of the blazer is the hood. So I've got everything else has pretty much been blocked. I'm gonna block it probably. I'm gonna put some polyester primer on there, block it 1 or 2 more times. But most of the dents have been taken out. But the last thing I got to tackle here is the hood. So I block sanded one side, and you can see everywhere it's dark is a very low spot. So the darker the spot, the lower the dent. And so I've got some tools. I'm going to take those out and get it as flat as possible, and then we'll move on. Okay, I made this tool. Allows me to hit on sheet metal, and it kind of disperses the load, so it's not so crazy. So what I'm gonna do here is just try and see if I can just push that edge in. No, it's not moving. Let me go at it from a different angle here. We are much more aligned now. It's just kind of it's got a crown that comes over to the side a little bit better. But as you can see, now it's sticking out a little bit here. I see I'm probably gonna have to drill a hole there and spot weld that back in because it's moved, it's come loose. But at the end of the day, it's tight now, and you really can't see that gap. So pretty happy. Moving on. Hey there. So if you're still watching, thank you. Appreciate it. And as always, like and subscribe. Helps pay me some money. I've got the blazer back on the rotisserie, and at this point, I'm going to be preparing it for color. Under here, just doing some minor body work. I put a patch in there, so I ground down the welding marks, put some filler in there. Same thing in here. There was a square patch. Fixing that. And then I also see I got some cracks, ground them out. I'm going to weld them in, so fix those cracks. And then I got some dents to deal with and some runs, so I'll be sanding all that out, putting on a high build polyester primer, just sanding that down, and then go to the outside, get everything sealed, and then start putting down color. Here we go. We are working on this 1972 Blazer, and over the last bunch of videos, been working on various things. You'll see here, this is the frame. I did this first, probably a couple years ago. It's got a lot of dust on it. Gotta get that cleaned off. But been working mostly on the shell or the tub at this point, and got it ready to block sand and then put on some color. So on the inside, I've got just a direct to metal epoxy primer. I'm going to sand that smooth, and including the dashboard. Plan here is I'm going to go with a single stage olive medium poly, I think it's 507 green on the inside, and then I'm going 2-stage base coat clear coat on the outside. So right now I've got a high build primer on the outside. It's the gray. I'm going to paint everything I'm going to do the single stage on. I'm going to keep white, which will be underneath, and then white on top and the dashboard and inside the pillars, back of the tailgate, and then some of these pieces here. So those will all get single stage, and then everywhere I'm going to go 2-stage, it's going to be gray. I haven't sprayed this PPG Omni before, so I don't know how transparent it is, but I just want to keep one base coat color underneath it. So stay tuned, and here we go. We're going to put some green on this thing. Got the rocker panels and the rear quarter panels block sanded, kind of ready for paint. And so I've got them all masked off, so we're going to paint. I've decided to mask that stuff off and paint the inside and underside of the body first. So right now what I'm going to do is in a lot of these areas, to get up in there, it's hard to get the paint in there with my big gun, and then the paint's kind of thin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and paint it all black up in these hard to reach areas with some Rust-Oleum reduced 50/50 with acetone. I'm going to spray it up in there, get all that white covered with black, and then that way when I paint it green, it'll either be black or green, because I just don't want to see the white. So that's that'll be the goal. So today is the day, finally. Got the old Blazer, got on some jack stands. I found the bed had bowed in the middle, being on this rotisserie. So I kind of lowered it down, put some jack stands underneath there. Got the bed all flattened out, but I'm gonna be bolting on these wheel wells and then all the other structural supports that go underneath it. So what I've been working on is Blazer. I've been sandblasting and painting every nut and bolt and J-nut and everything. So it's like my goal here is to not see rust anytime I'm working on it. And so now we're gonna get together, we're gonna get everything bolted up and then get some green paint on it today. Before I stick this wheel well on, got on Amazon last night and bought this butyl. It's 3/8. I put it as this one continuous bead around, keep the water out. So it'll fit up in there, squeeze out. I was at Dino's Get Down truck event last weekend. Saw a Blazer, someone was selling for $150,000, and you could see right into the bed of the Blazer because there was no seal, no nothing. So a lot of water gets in, gets that carpet wet, and then starts rust problems. So hopefully this will keep the water out. Today is finally paint day. Going with PPG Medium Olive 504 Poly. Give you guys a before and after shot of what's going on out here. The Blazer, I've got the rear quarter panels. They're ready to be painted, so I've just got those masked up. Get the inside, the dash, everything else painted, but down here, got everything sanded, 400 grit, and I'm gonna use this rotisserie, get the green paint on it. Hopefully it covers the black as well, it covers the white. But I did the black, like I said earlier, in case the green didn't penetrate all the way. I just didn't want to see white primer. So that's what's going on there. But happy so far the way this is turning out, and nice 70-degree day here, November 23rd. So we'll go green, see how it goes. Okay, that was 48 ounces of mixed material. Put 2 coats. I think it could have gotten more even with the 3rd coat. It didn't cover the black as well as I'd hoped, but if you look at my earlier videos when I stripped this down, it wasn't perfect. There was a lot of black, and the green was like an afterthought, but there it is. The underside is now nice and shiny, easy to clean, and now we'll move on to the doors. Today is Black Friday 2024. I'm gonna call it Green Friday, so I'm spraying some green inside this bed. Got it all sanded down with 400 Scotch-Brite, dust removed, and it will be green before we know it. Single stage. Can be pretty shiny. Pretty shiny. Today, it's time for the dash. I'm gonna sand it all smooth with 400. There's no body work in there, so it should go pretty smooth. I'm gonna do the inside of the A-pillars and the windshield header bow, the inside of that A-pillar and the dash. So I'm gonna paint the dash green, and I'm gonna follow that up with some flat clear, because the worst thing to do is have a clear, shiny metal dashboard that reflects off your windshield when you're driving. So for that reason, this will be green, but it's gonna be flat. We're all taped up. Expect Dexter to show up any minute. We got plastic everywhere. So again, I'm gonna sand the dash. I put the plastic up before I painted, so I didn't want the sanding dust to get on my new paint. So I want to keep it looking pretty. But here we go. We're gonna get this thing sanded and painted. Okay. Okay. Here we are. We've got the paint. I say we. There's no we. I have the paint. I say we. But I have painted the dash, the A-pillars, and the header bow. And I got one run. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. But yeah, whatever. But yeah, turned out great. Looks great. You know, I was thinking about going online because there's a lot of people talking shit about the PPG Omni line, and I've got a 20-year-old paint gun, and you can see, look at that. There's zero orange peel. That shit lays down so smooth. Love it. So here we are, and tomorrow I gotta get back to work tomorrow. My last day ever, hopefully, at work tomorrow. But and then we're gonna get on these doors, get the outside skins nice and flat. I'm gonna put this green on the insides and then the tailgate, and then yeah, move on. So thank you for watching. Okay, day 1000. So started off this paint. We got the underside. I got the underside painted. Step one. I got the bed painted. Sort of step two. And then I did underneath, or the floor here, underneath the dash, step three. I did the dash, A-pillars, and the bow up there, step four. So now I'm getting ready to tape everything off, and I'm gonna go, this was all just single stage. So now I'm gonna do the jams, the A-pillars, the bow, the firewall, and then kind of tied into where I masked it off. And I'm gonna do that in base coat, clear coat. So yeah, so we'll see. So right now I'm just in the middle of taping. It's very boring, very tedious. That's probably the thing I don't like to do the most, is all this masking, but it's important unless you enjoy buffing off overspray. But yeah, that's where we're at here, and the fun continues. Okay, here we go. Again, masking, my favorite hobby. 2 hours masking. I've got some old work shirts plugged in these holes, and then just masking off, and I'm getting ready to mask from the windowsill down to this plastic, and then the windowsill up around the header bow. And then hopefully tomorrow I'll be doing base coat, clear coat. Get this tub done. Here we are. The tub, as people call it, is painted for the most part, inside and out. Looks great. I really like this PPG Omni. A lot of people like to bash it. I like it. Sprays nice. My 25-year-old paint gun, my driveway, comes out nice. Yeah, I got nothing great things to say about it. But so now this thing's finally done, and I'm gonna bolt it back onto the chassis here, which I gotta pull out. I'm gonna give it a bath, put that on there, and then finish working on the doors, tailgate, get the insides of those painted so it matches the inside of that, and then we'll be on to the exterior and then assembly. So things have gotten better. I'm retiring. Actually, I've kind of already retired, so I don't work anymore, and I've been putting 4 or 5 hours a day into getting this thing done, getting ready to move to Florida. So here we go. Hey there, thanks for watching. Exciting stuff going on with that Blazer. Exciting stuff going on in my home life. So here's a picture of what I've moved into. No more fancy ass workshop. I got an old termite infested, rotten, falling over, leaning barn. So that's home for now. I got the trucks here. The carrier showed up a little while ago. We got unloaded. There's the house. So essentially I moved from 1 acre with an RV garage in the desert to now I got 2 acres here in Florida. Most of it's mowed. Probably about an acre is still wooded. I'm at the end of a dead-end street. I've got one neighbor, this guy over here, and that's it. So really no noise. It's really what I wanted. You know, I think a lot of the guys in the audience can probably relate. The older you get, the less you want to be around people, unfortunately. So I think I found a spot to retire. But yeah, so thanks for watching. I've got 2 more parts coming up. I edited this video on the airplane. Turned out it was a little over an hour. So I'm going to break it up into like 20-minute segments. And so if you want to watch the Blazer, awesome. And then the videos will start after that. So one cool thing, here, let me see if I can get it on this property. You can see that. Yeah, I got turkeys. So that's kind of cool. So Thanksgiving's right around the corner. We'll see how that goes. But thanks for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, do all that stuff. And then if you're interested, I'm gonna probably publish them 1 week at a time. YouTube threatened to demonetize me on my other videos if I didn't post something. So I'm gonna post this one next week, 1 week after that, and then we'll get started on here work in Florida. So thanks again, and have a good one.